Morning, guys. So today we'll have today's April 16th, Thursday, and I hope you guys submitted your interim submissions on time yesterday, and today we'll continue the presentation from yesterday. So the remaining teams will present your progress and your insights from your signal curves and your drivers implementation and the IO knowledge base implementation and the insights you get from the cloud code and also the Andrew Karpathy's framework. So we're gonna get started that way. So if if any of your team has already prepared and ready to go, you can start. You can raise your hand and start. Until then, we'll put the team's names in the chat. So feel free to raise your hands if you're ready. Yovid? Yes, you can speak up.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so we're going to present from GPT-5. I think Day11 Apply will start the session. So we are going to share the progress that we have. Let me share my screen. So is it visible?
Yes, it is. You can go on.
So are you seeing my screen, guys?
Yes, we are seeing your screen. Yes.
So Day11 will start the session, then I will continue on the final steps.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm here today representing the GPT-5 team. I hope you all can hear me right.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
yes.
audible.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah, you're audible.
So what we are going to walk you through today isn't a prototype or a concept. It's a working AI data agent, one that answers complex analytical questions across multiple databases, repairs its own failures, and gets smarter after every single run. And the story we are going to tell you is really about one idea, that the reason AI data agents fail isn't the AI, it's the missing context around it. So we built Oracle first to fix exactly that. So can we get back to slide one? Sorry. Slide one.
Yeah, I'm on slide one. Problem we solved.
Uh, no, the title slide. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Oracle Forge. So we have built Oracle Forge. It's built against a real benchmark called Data Agent Page, which tests AI agents on complex multi-database analytical pages. So the best for any team or model has achieved on the benchmark is 38%. That number is sitting on our title slide on purpose because it represents exactly the ceiling we intend to break. We integrate for database types simultaneously, the Postgres, MongoDB, DuckDB, and SQLite. So behind that system, there are specialized roles, the drivers, intelligence officers, and signal corps. So let's go to the problem we solved. So Here's the reality most enterprise face. Their data doesn't live in one place. It lives in relational databases, document stores, analytical engines, and lightweight local systems all at the same time. So a single business question, something as simple as like which of our top customers had the highest satisfaction scores last quarter might require data from three of those systems simultaneously. What Oracle Forge delivers is one agent that handles the entire analytical chain. It reads the question, identifies which database query injects the right business knowledge, validates its own results, repairs its own mistakes, and writes a permanent fix so it never makes the same mistakes twice. So to understand how we built a system capable of doing all of that, you guys need to understand the people behind it. So let me introduce to the full team. So Oracle Forge is built by 6 people operating 3 district roles. Our drivers, Yowit and Gerson, who are the engineering core, our intelligence officers, Samuel and Kidani, who are the knowledge architects, and our signal corps, Lydia and myself, are the team's eyes, ears, and voice. So let's go to the signal corps. So here, I want to spend a moment on this slide because it captures something that doesn't always show up in progress reports. So what it actually like when community engagement produces real technical intelligence. So we published 4 pieces of content until now, an X-trade explaining our 3-layer context architecture, which has already received its first views on the technical community, a Reddit post, and 2 LinkedIn articles. But the most important story this week happened in the Trino Slack community's Dave channel. And I want to walk you through it carefully because it shows exactly why Signal Corps exist. So Iowit hosted our Oracle Forge milestone. Our agent passed all the 7 data agent bench questions, of course, for backends, and they did something. He asked it to 2 strategic questions to the community. First is anyone building official agent layers or MCP servers to make Trino a primary tool for AI agents? And the second question he asked was, has anyone tried benchmarking agents specifically on Trino marriage catalogs? Those questions you read asked, and the community answered twice. A practitioner named Dane replied first, confirming that nobody is formally doing this yet, but that people are already using Trino. By the way, Trino is a query engine. So they answered their Trino. They use Trino via CLI and tools like Claude. So he invited us to share what we are thinking. Then today, just hours before this presentation, a second practitioner called Francis, I think, replied with something even more concrete. So he said there is a working Trino MCP server, not an official one, but he's been running it successfully for 3 months, and he linked it directly their GitHub link. So these were an update for the Signal Corps. We can go to the intelligence officers, which are the analysis layer. So the intelligence officers are the team's memory internally, and they are the reason Oracle Forge can answer questions that other agents get wrong. So Samuel and Kidani maintain a 6-layer knowledge base that the agent draws on before every single query runs. So for the interest of time, I think let me mention the layers only. The QB1 is the schema intelligence, tables, columns, types, which helps the agent doesn't hallucinate column names and writes a space that looks right but returns nothing. And okay, is time up?
Yeah, okay. Maybe let me continue with the
You can
drivers.
continue.
Yeah, so from the driver side, me and Gershom was working on the setuping and doing the agents. So we have built and operate full 8-stage execution loops, and also the core components that we have, like on the orchestration, execution routers, validator, and wrapper loops. So those are integrated to the agent currently that we are building and routing to 4 different databases. This is the main things that we have been working as drivers. So we are currently working on a shared server, and the agent is also running on the remote shared server. Also, the DBs are running on that shared server. And the system progress currently we have is like for the benchmark query passing. Actually, we did the Yelp data sets, passing all those 7 queries, and we are on 35% since the old 12 datasets needs to be tested. So on this week, we are going to work on that. And also we have injected the 3 architectures of knowledge based, and on the external channels live, I think Betalehem mentioned that. So we have been engaging with external channels. And on the infrastructure side, so we did the mock DAB agent test on the shared server, and also on the pod agent test, also working on the shared, and the DB setup is also done, and data migration to the live DB is also done. Only 85% is remaining on the infrastructure readiness. And apart this community intelligence loops, we have been engaging in the Slack internal communication, signal corps with the IO, with the drivers. This is the overall system progress that currently we have. Apart this, on the technical part, we have a key achievements. We have achieved the 3 layers knowledge-based architecture. On the 12 data sets, we are working with the Yelp. And for the full external presence, we have been engaging with the external communities on TradeX and Reddit and LinkedIn, and also on the Slack Trino community. Apart this, we have been working on the Yelp data sets for the benchmark. The 11 datasets are remaining. Then we have 20 props on the test, and also community engagements have been happening to internally and externally also. And for the roadmap for week 9, so for the week 9, we have planned to submit our benchmark above 38%, which is the main target, and also want to show the community this benchmark. And also we are going to respond on the Trino Slack community that we plan to integrate, if it's possible, on the Trino engine also, since they don't have these kinds of agents on the community. This is the week 9 plan. Apart this, near terms, so we're going to publish the DAB PR announcement on the benchmark submission, and also expand the correction logs from the new benchmark failures. So this will going to be the new terms, and the visions are beating the 35% of the SOTA for the Oracle Forge as a DAB reference, and the full auto dream self-learning log operation in the production. And also we are planning to make this agent open source. This is the vision of the team. Maybe if you have any kinds of questions regarding the presentation and regarding the works that we have, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Yovid and Betalehem. You are a bit over on time, so I didn't indicate the time limit. So from now we will have 10-minute limit for the next teams. So if is there any question from the team?
Okay, So nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bethel and David. I just wanted to mention one thing. So I have been checking the leaderboard on the data agent page, and currently it seems like there is a new, there has been a new entry with 54.3%. So at one, there is a 54.3%. So there is a new leader. So 38%, there was one for the Gemini, but now it seems like for Gemini 3.1 Pro with Prompt QL, I think Prompt QL team, they did their agent so that it beats 38%, and currently it's at 54.3%, but they did it for 5 trials, not the 50 trials one. So I think if we can beat that as well, it will be best, since we are aiming to be number 1 on the leaderboard. So let's make sure that the goal is number 1 on the leaderboard. Just wanted to mention that. And also on the Trino, so maybe you can give us a bit of like just this, what exactly is Trino and how hopefully it will relate to what you are building.
Okay. Apache Trino. Trino is a family of Apache. So it's open source community. It is a query engine. It goes to different databases. So not only in data, it goes to data lakes, lakehouse, and some big data tables. So this is a big query engine. It's open source. So it is related with us, like we have a multi-heterogeneous database, or even though we can integrate with different databases on the catalog side. So since we are working as agents, we are going to execute like LLM. So the agent will pick the LLM and goes to each data sets and check the database and do the performance. So currently a Trino is like normal tool which doesn't have any kinds of agent. Also from the community, I realized that there is no officially released MCP server. So if we integrate this agent with this community, I think it will add a better operation on that on their community and also in our community. So we have a tool called Trino. This Trino can integrate different heterogeneous databases, but it does a query only. It doesn't have any kinds of intelligence, or it doesn't have any kinds of AI agents built in on that tool. So if we integrate our agent to this tool, it will make it's going to be a game changer for all communities.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, Yovet, and also for the rest of the team, also Bethany.
Maybe just I know that we are over time, but how do you see it? I mean, I just don't see. I mean, Trino is just like a connector runner, right? So, and then it can connect to any data set. But what is the advantage having? What is the MCP server on that? What is supposed to do?
Actually, if we integrate the MCP server to the Trino, we can leverage like a single points of connection. Like currently, we are going to integrate each databases with the MCP server one by one. But
no, I think that's where I'm kind of don't understand. So Trino just connects to databases, and then you have one query interface that you can connect, right? So now the thing about MCP toolbox is very different. It's again something completely different in a sense, because it's exposing tools with just a simple YAML file. While when you have Trino, still you're going to formulate your query, right? So you're going to be formulating queries in a certain, like basically without having that, like, and if you want to write something, a new function, you have to write that new tool. Like, so what is the innovation there? Because I know that you have to write, one of the advantage of Trino, which is Athena in AWS or Presto, the older version, is it just basically allows you to query something on non-structured data or something that's stored on even stores like S3 or stuff. But when it comes to actually just the databases that you have, I'm not sure what leverage are you expecting. What's the leverage you guys see?
Actually, Trino can handle lots of database connections like Postgres and Oracle, so on. Like it's
As a
not-
connector,
Yeah.
it does connect. But
Yeah.
what does that mean? Like as a connector, and you have one interface, right? So you will have one interface that's connecting to this, and then you can query all of them. But what I don't see is that so when you put it as MCP server, what advantage do you get? Like other than like it's just so what I can't right now, what I'm not saying is that what would be is that just managing the connections only? Are you trying to simplify the connections, which is just a connection with Trino? Or do you see some form of gain other than that?
Yeah, actually, regarding the connections, currently also the whole teams are suffering connecting the MCP server with the DocDB and some apart that. But if we are going to leverage this Trino, I think it will help us to connect to single instance. Then that Trino will handle the other connectivities. Currently, we are checking like we are suffering with even the DocDB connectivity with our MCP server. So having one MCP server connected to the Trino, it will handle almost lots of DB connection, and also not only DB, we can leverage other big data lakehouses or data lakes or something like that that can Trino handles. Currently, the community on Trino is very high, even though AWS is also using that query engine, like connectivity with the MCP server. Currently, we have.
So I
lots of
think maybe just you guys research if, I know one of the advantage of Trino was really just leveraging not like as a connector, but actually things that could not have been done before, which is querying S3 or querying in Azure or querying that. And that's why it was the most used. So if it is just only connection layer you want to leverage, then isn't it just simply a pool that you can create in one code? Like, why do you need that dependency? Like, wouldn't you just perform a very simple just connection? Like MCP Toolbox, you can actually write DuckDB, you can actually write a connector also for MCP Toolbox, and you can add it yourself. So wouldn't that be a lot more different paths? So I mean, this is more of like as a challenge. Actually, whenever you add a dependency, it has to solve some problem other than very simple, like, connection problems are real, but they're not that, I wouldn't really go to Trino to solve the connection problem because it's a very big, but if you have data, for example, on non-relational data sets, then in principle, that one can be one advantage, right? Because then you cannot simply query. You need an actual runner to query that. So let's just, I'm just more challenging, but if you guys are convinced, that's great. But I just want to.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, we can also leverage that one, like unstructured, normal file structure data on the file system can be queried with the Trino. So we can leverage this one also. Yeah,
Exactly. Its main existence for Trino, and it's why it's loved, and why it's a standard is for those reasons that no other, or at least better than any other alternatives before. So yeah, okay, great, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're good. So next we have the Gemini team. So Gemini team, you can go on. Is there
Am I
anyone?
audible?
Yes, you go.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm from Gemini team. I am ULW. So I'm going to we didn't prepare a slide, but I'm going to update with the progress verbally.
Were you in yesterday's stand-up? You
I missed the yesterday.
was anyone from your team was in the stand-up?
I think we've missed it. These were different problems, but yeah, we are here now.
Yeah, it was strictly told that the presentation was required. So why didn't you prepare the presentation? I mean, that goes for Nabi also.
Okay, it's because we didn't have the information to prepare the slides. Should I continue verbally and should I continue? Or should we prepare and
I think so. I think you guys just prepare and then let's come at the end, because I think it would be, yeah. So let's make sure that you have put it in a slide and just like prepare it, for in the next, let's say 20 something minutes.
okay.
From your team also, I think Charlie was present, and yeah. So
Mohammed?
talk with your team and a slide of your progress and what you were about to present. So then we'll come back to you once we go through all the other teams. So sounds good.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
So next we'll have Team Lama.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Let me share you my slide. Is that visible?
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So we are Team Lama, and we are here. The members are your and Gemach were working on the drivers. Mikias and Gasha was working on the intelligence officer, and me and Kirby was working on the signal corps. So just to give you the overall what we were building, and as we know that it's Oracle Forge, the data agent that can answer natural language questions. So against those, we have different database at once. So it will you can ask questions and you can get an answer automatically. So we have those layers: schema awareness, domain knowledge, and correction memory we have. And so when we say about the schema awareness, we have the agent reads the structure of every connected database. So every time before answering or giving returns the answer, it should first connect it, and it knows what tables and columns exist. This is what's awareness. And for the domain knowledge, as explained, the business terms, so the agent can understand what the active customer or the facial character actually means. So it will have a domain knowledge, and the layer 3 is a correction memory. So every fail should be logged, and the agent learns from the mistake. That makes what makes special, and also it should avoid repeated mistakes. And for the drivers, they have been building they already have built the core agent, self-correction, database routing, and evaluation system, and the shared server. So they have been focusing on this. And the intelligence officer have been working on this main for knowledge-based layers of the architecture layer that contains 6 documents explaining how the agent is structured and how the memory pattern will work and the tool agent will be used. and the domain layer will be the overall schema, database of schema, and how to join those databases across different records. And the correction layer is that, like, if you have a logged past failure, should analyze and should study what went wrong and why, and so it should fix, try to fix how to fix and make not repeated. The evaluation layer is to describe how the test harness works, and our quality gate was every knowledge we should pass
Sorry,
the
just
test.
Ms. Are you still in the first page, like, or are you? Because we only see the first page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so-
I was on the 5th page. Okay,
Yeah,
let
I
me.
just I noticed that because you didn't. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
Can you see now the signal corps
Yeah,
page?
we now see the signal corps.
I thought I was on the next page.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I think it's maybe.
Let me know if I'm stuck.
Okay.
So the signal corps, is we mainly focus on the community and communication engagement, was really effective, and we published articles on both Medium and LinkedIn, and we got some feedbacks from experts and also from some channels. We post social media mainly on Twitter and Reddit, and we focused on some big channels, and they were approaching us and they were DMing us, and the Reddit and Discord was kind of the we weren't that much engaging in because we couldn't find the communities. And so the external feedback we have been getting is on Twitter, on Reddit, and on the LinkedIn and Medium. Most people were engaging with the articles. And can you see the next page?
Now not. So now we still are in signal corps.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. So results so far. Yeah. Okay. So we got kick test. We did kick test run. So our drivers and the intelligent officer collaboration was working on this, and they asked 7 questions, and there's just only 2 attempts per the question, and they sound script. That team themselves, it's kind of optimistic, but we don't trust this number because we can't get this number with those trials, and the stress test was got 42.8%, almost 43%, and there was 50 trial questions, and 7 questions was got correct answer, and this is the honest picture. But when we run it run times, the agent should be only truly reliable on the half of the time. So this we treat it as a real performance here, and we have this knowledge base 20 out of 3 document passed, and the adversarial approach was 14 out of the 15 was deliberately correct, and target to beat was have 54.3 our target benchmark is that. And okay, so I think okay. Sorry, I'm taking your time. So this is our honest assessment and what we working goal and gaps we have to fix. So the agent is successfully answering questions using the Postgres and MongoDB, and the knowledge base is passing all the quality tests, and also the evaluation harness is producing reliable and traceable scores. It's something we are proud of, and the self-correction loop, it cuts the and it tries the failed query and automatically. And most of the main thing is all those 6 members are working collaboratively, and we are on good communication way, and the community feedback is directly shaping up the structure of the knowledge base we are getting from the medias, the platforms. And the gaps and challenge we have to fix is like 2 of the 4 required database like Skelett and the database are not yet loaded, so we have to load after those remaining dates, and the unstructured text extraction tool is existed, but it's not yet connected to the main agent, so we have to do that. And the full 54 caches are benchmarked, so has not been run yet, so only 7 caches from one data set. So we have those cross database curves, so sometimes it's failed for the ID formats. That's the challenge we are challenging, so we have to fix that. So the other thing is error recovery. When the agent switch from between those database, from the Postgres and MongoDB, the mid-care is not complete. And so I think I'm so sorry. So yeah, so you yesterday were saying that we have been using those 7 architectural decisions: Cloud Code, OpenAI, database benchmark paper, and Karaoke. I'm not sure if I mispronounced that. So we use Cloud Code for the 3 decision layer, though memory, index, topic files, and the station correctness. So we use the Oracle for it for the knowledge base and runtime correction log. To make it short, that we plan text auto conciliation of the correction logs in database. Here for the OpenAI, we 6 layers context for the schema, domain, memory, summaries, and hints, and cache was used, and we have layers 1, 2 for implemented schema. And this is the main thing. This is not the main thing to show you. Let me show you what we learned from this and how we are going to use and why we used it. So we already published AI agent architecture before building anything. We just stated some research papers, and also those 3 sources direct shapes are for this Oracle for design. The first was Cloud Code architecture. We learned from this that the knowledge base should not be short and should be short and structured, because it will help us, those 3 memoirs, to have built their own and then our structure, and to have corrected and injected every prompt. And how we use it, we directly became our 3 layers knowledge base. So the injection test quality came from the same idea. So every document must prove its answers on one specific question correctly. That helped us the Cloud Code architecture. The OpenAI in-house data gate we learned that failed logs treated as first-class knowledge, so it should not be discarded. We learned that, and we used that where every agent's failure should be logged, categorized, and turned it to a document that prevents the same mistake iteratively. And the other thing is data agent bench research paper. This agent helped us how the 38% ceiling is an enduring problem, not a modern intelligent problem. So we learned that, and how we are using it, the self-correction loop, and the other things should be a target for the specific failure named in this paper. So while each layer is delivering, so we are working
Sorry
collaboratively.
to interrupt, Masard. You are a bit over time, so you should finalize it. And
Okay, give me 2 or 3 minutes. I want to say something. Okay, yeah. So we have those drivers, intelligence officer, and signal corpus. We will work on the drivers. Will focus on those 2 databases, those skeleton database, and intelligence officer will expand the knowledge base coverage, and the signal corpus will more engaging on those other platforms. And okay, so the impact we deliver. Okay. So the impact we deliver is any analysis that when you see this Oracle for project, any analyst, any manager or decision maker can ask a question in plain English. So they can get an answer from the right database. And also, if there is silent failure will not be the problem. It can be visible and it will be fixable. And your data across every system starts will talk to each other. So every data will talk. Those database will be talk each other, and they will not be silent failure. And your agent results not processed. So every the agent now manage the you don't manage the agent. We just configure the prompt, and we'll ask questions that will get the proper answer. And so, if you ask me why we should choose you, you know that we are not just only team. We are that we can build an agent. We own the outcome, not the task. So every team holds their own responsibility, and they will deliver their task. And also, if there is a gap, we will fill it. So no one will be careless on this. So no one will wait to someone. We test everything before we trust. That the main thing we learn from the outside in. So I have been saying that we have been getting feedbacks from the Reddit and Twitter and also LinkedIn. So we were accepting those feedbacks. So we can learn from that. We are honest about what we do, which is not working or not, which was working and not. And if you ask me what makes us different, we work as one team. We have a great communication. We have a great communication between us. If in daily mob session, in daily startup meeting and Slack communication, we have a great communication. We compound as we go. So each failure become documented, and each document improves the next query. So the agent will be becoming best every day, and will be more working further. And we balance speed with rigor, and we know that we move fast, but we also share the make sure to check the quality. And where we stand, the agent work, the knowledge base is complete, the community validates the approach, the honest score is 42.86, and what remains is execution. So we are answering those, mainly focusing on those Postgres and MongoDB, and we are more focusing on those where we don't work. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Masart.
Sorry for you taking your time.
Yeah, it's all right. So, is there any question from the team?
Okay, so I have one question. I thank you, Mr. for the presentation. It was good. On the results that you have gained, I think I saw two outputs. So maybe if you can open the slide up to where you showed us the result.
So sorry, what was the question? Shall I show you the slide?
Yes, so on the slide, you can share it. There were two outputs from your evaluations, the results.
What we got so far? Okay.
Can you share the slide?
Yeah, I'm sharing the slide.
Okay.
I think he's asking the sixth slide.
The fifth, what?
The six one, number 6.
Okay.
Yeah, so to explain that, so running all the queries takes so much time. So we did separately. I mean, first when we do the tests, we tried with only 7 queries and with 2 trials, and then the score is 85 and 0.7 something. And then we do the actual test should be run on these 7 questions 50 times. So that is what we are doing. And when we did with the quick test run, the result looks so impressive, but it's not actually the real run. So that's just for the quick testing of the pipelines. And then the real one is stress testing that will be baseline. And also for that, we run the 7 questions around 50 times. All of them take so much time. So that is why we are doing 2 ways. So you can ignore the first one, the quick test run. So it's just showing how we are doing this thing. So the real test that we run is the second one, the 42.86. I think that made it clear.
Yes. Nice. Thank you very much. And if you can ask maybe what model did you use specifically? So we have the harness, but what was the model?
Okay, would you please come back again?
What was the model used to run?
Okay, the model we used GPT-4 mini. That is the model we are using at the moment.
GPT-4 or mini?
GPT-4 or mini, yeah.
Was there a reason you decided to try GPT-4 or mini? What was?
No, personally, I like GPT-4 for its reasoning capability, and then we have the open router key issue, right? So we selected that. It's not just much reason behind it.
So, but GPT now has newer models. So there is also 5.2 mini. I think it has increased reasoning capability much more than the 4.0 mini. But yeah, we do have, we know like we have cost constraints, but we have also increased your total limits. So I think if you can even try to run it with GPT 5.2 mini and you see the output, if it improves, and you can see like even changing the model besides having the harness with the same harness, if it improves the outcomes, then you're on the right track. And if it doesn't really change anything, then the harness has an issue. So you'll focus more on the harness.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Same thinking.
Okay, thank you, Team Gemini. So Team Llama. So sorry. So next we'll have Team Mistral.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'll be starting the presentation and my teammates will join in. Okay, I'm sharing the slides now. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, it's visible. Yes.
Okay, thank you for giving us this opportunity. So our team name is Team Mistral, and we have been working on building a multi-database data agent. The team was divided into three roles. The drivers, Hewitt and I were the drivers. Intelligence officers were Marta and Nahom. Signal Corps was done by Zagay and Abdulaziz. So just to give you an overview, this project involved building a multi-database AI agent that was designed to answer real business questions across like multiple databases and data systems. So the total of 12 data sets were provided. For this particular update, we only utilized 2 of them, the book review and Yelp. We will continue like working on the remaining data sets as we proceed and finish off this week. Just to give you a brief update on my role or on our role as drivers, we first set up the infrastructure. We used Docker Compose for setting up the MongoDB and Postgres databases. We used the already provided sandbox by the DAB repository, and we also configured the MCP toolbox, and we exposed all 4
Nabil, I think your connection.
Hello?
Yes, you're back now. Now you're back.
Yes,
but,
is my
it was breaking.
just lost power. I just lost power. That's why. But can you still see my screen? And am I still audible?
Yes, it's still visible and you're audible. You can continue.
Okay. So this is what we did, and we also on the infrastructure side, we adapted the common scaffold data agent to allow us to use our open router APIs and then the next thing we did is to configure the benchmark runs and the data set onboarding. So we did an end-to-end run on the book review and Yelp data sets. and we executed multiple agent runs using different models. We specifically used Gemini 3.1 Pro Preview and the Pro Preview custom tools. Why we chose this is we noticed that the leading benchmark also used Gemini Pro, and we faced some issues when we used a weaker model such as the Gemini 2.5 Flush. It struggled with tool calling, and we also noticed some improvements when using the custom tools variant of the Gemini 3.1 Pro. So for the evaluation, we adopted the stats script that was already built in inside the DB repository, and we edited it to find the local runs and also calculate the pass at 1 and pass at k. Also some costs that we were seeing while running. It also evaluates or validates each DAB across the ground truths using the ground truths CSV that's provided in each query. So we are still in like working, and it's not yet complete. I want to acknowledge that we are running a bit late or a bit behind schedule, but we are working very hard to finish off the week strong. So for this result is just for book review and Yelp. We did not use the KB, the knowledge base was not used in these runs. It was purely LLM runs. While working, while the other groups were presenting, I was also working on engaging the knowledge base, and couldn't get like the slides ready for this. But just to tell you the results, we got 100% pass at 5 for the book review, and for the Yelp, we are still working on improving the knowledge base. Our ceiling is at 29% now. So this is the results. I can go in detail maybe later if we have time. So I'll pass on to our intelligence officer, Marta. Marta, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Do you want me to unshare, or do you want me to control the slides so you can present?
Okay, continue. I will present. So I will present about the knowledge base. We have about 3 knowledge bases. The version 1 is the architecture, which contains the cloud memory model, tool scoping, and context layer principle. We also have the knowledge base version 2, which is the domain, which have the schema understanding of all 12 datasets, and the joint key glossary, which have cross-domain database mismatch, and also the business terms and the domain definition. Our version 3, we have the correction loop, which have the structure failure with the fixed mapping and a self-learning loop integrated into the agent runtime. We have done injection tests for the knowledge base documents. We have documented in the isolated LLM context, and we have asked good question. We have a pass criteria of 100 out of 100 correctness, and our result for the knowledge base version 1 and version 2 is 100% verified, which limits our ambiguity and hallucination sources. Our correction system covers the cross-engine join failures, the join key normalization mismatch, the unstructured extraction error, and the routing discovery failure. So I've finished my part. Next, let's see what I'll...
Okay, Nabi, you can unshare. I can share. Okay. So on the Signal corpus side, we have made a total of 8 technical posts across Reddit, LinkedIn, Medium, and Twitter. So our main focus is to get engineering insights from external users. So we're not just posting on the progress update on each post, we're rather posting our engineering insights on how we are implementing the data agent. So on the Reddit side, we have posted on introduction to the data agent
range implementation. We have also discussed on the multi-data based reasoning challenges. We have asked for a feedback on our context design. On LinkedIn, we have also shared our architecture breakdown of our data agent implementation, the memory system, the knowledge-based design, and we have also posted on our weekly engineering progress updates. On Medium, we have shared articles on the cloud code architecture insights, on our injection testing methodology, and our context engineering improvements. On Twitter, we have posted on tool separation and reliability and on the failure modes of most AI agents. Looking at our audience and metrics, I can say LinkedIn was our strongest channel. We have got most of engagement from LinkedIn. We have got 468 impressions and 6 likes per posts. On Medium, we have got 16 up to 18 rates and appreciations from our articles. On Reddit, we have got 4 upvotes on the discussion. Still, we're limited with comments and discussions. On Twitter, we have got 6 views and 1 like. Finally, on our progress status, currently we have just intentionally scoped it to 2 datasets, Yelp and the book review, so that we could test and validate the full system end to end, and later on we can scale it. So with that being said, I can say on the core agent infrastructure, we have made 60%, and data agent, the data coverage, I can say 10%, and the evaluation system, since we used only 2 datasets, I can say we have made 20% progress, and on the learning and the optimization, the correction one, I can say we have made 10%. That's all.
Thank you, Team Mistral. So, any question from the team?
Yeah, I have one question. So how far do you think, like, based on the progress you have made and based on what amount of the teamwork that you guys have, how much do you think can you achieve? What's your ambition and what's your realistic expectation?
Okay, I will try to answer this question. There were multiple factors for our current progress, but as we're like going deeper into this week, we have started collaborating much better, and it is my hope that we will complete, and we will also make a pull request with a good result at the end of the week. So I believe that we can still achieve good things by the end of the week.
Okay, so that's less good things are less kind of so maybe other team members, what's kind of your ambition versus realistic expectation based on what the momentum you guys have? I know.
Go for the first benchmark, which is 30, I think it was 38. I think you can strive to achieve beyond that. Since we are having a good cohesive interaction lately, I think that's our goal.
Okay. And what do you have to put in place to achieve your ambitious goals?
I think conducting more tests. Yeah, conducting more tests, conducting more mutations, and fixing our KB knowledge base will help us to do that.
And are you then reallocating resources? Are you, because if anyone tries to do the same thing, they probably will get the same outcome. So are you innovating around resource allocation and where you think these achievements needs or the ambition needs? So maybe just, this is more of like, I'm asking you just also as a priming, in case if you haven't thought about it, if you need to change, to restructure things like such that, for example, if testing is essential, then you have to put resources in it. in such a way that that is done accordingly. So leverage now that you know the team.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do all that's necessary.
I think we should all maybe take more ownership and not just do our parts. I think that would help for with everyone doing more than that they have been doing so far, and taking more ownership. And also, even if we run out of the API limits, I think I personally, I'm willing to maybe invest a bit to just see us through the finish line, even if we run out. Mine is almost depleted. We will use all of our team's resources as much as we can, and even if it's needed, we will do what's necessary.
Yeah. Great. I think Johannes, you have your hands up.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I had a question and I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So as a signal corps of my team, I've been trying to post on Reddit like multiple times, but the bots in there, because my account is new and all of our team didn't have an account before. All of the posts we posted are taken down. And what is the solution for that? Like, I have tried many channels and many groups to post in there and even to comment, but everything is getting taken down. And what is the solution for that? Or should we avoid Reddit? Like, that's my question.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have that much experience. So if there is anyone from the team who solved that or who have experienced it and have addressed that, maybe that's you guys can answer.
Okay, so just it might not be the direct reason, but I think the way you frame your posters could be seen as spam. So if you are just saying in a spamming manner, your posters, if they read it as it's a spam instead of like directly mentioning your post describes the process you are going through, and you're like trying to let the world know about what you are building, then it's good. But if it comes off as spam, then the subreddit moderators probably will delete the posts that you are making. And Reddit is notorious with the moderators. They do have both bots and also automatic moderators and also human moderators. So I think it's most likely the combination of having a new account and then the content of the post could also have an issue. So I'm not entirely sure how you can resolve this, but just letting you know what the experience has been. So if there is anyone else that's actually suffered from such kind of things, saying.
But other team members, or other teams who are successfully posting and getting traction, you had before, and did you have an old account, or is it just that you have managed to not get noticed or kind of blocked? Mohammed?
Yeah, just while we're preparing the presentation, I just wanted to answer this because we also face the same issue. Even though my account is old, even if the subreddit is very active, they usually flag it down. So what we did was, instead of aiming for the one we were asked to, we posted on a parallel Reddit. It's called AI machine learning or something like that. So the one suggested on the description, on the document, is not available. It was taking down my post as well. But if we pivot to a different subreddit, it works. Yeah. So I'll share if you want to post on the same subreddit we posted.
Yeah, I think just maybe yeah, the signal corps just teams, maybe Johannes just signal that for all the teams just to come and maybe any wisdom sharing together. So just a 20, 30 minutes call within like what works, what doesn't work, such that you guys go over it.
Okay, I'll try to do that. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Team Mr. Rock and Johannes. So the next team is Team Palm.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing so well. And first, like, apologies for the inconvenience happened yesterday that we didn't prepare the slides. Like, over the night, we were actually busy, like, to finish strong on the interim submission. And we really apologize for that. But before I hand it over to Kudus, I just want to give you a quick update from the intelligence officer side. So right now, me and Malcolm have already handed over the knowledge base documents, the version 1, the architecture, which we directly took from the cloud code and also the OpenAI. And besides that, we try to implement the domain knowledge from the descriptions. So we have already handed over, and our drivers have started implementing from those knowledge bases. But right now, what we are seeing is that when we ask some queries, the agent is not behaving well. It's not answering correctly. And like we found out that may be the issue of context giving. So that we are trying to refine and update that domain knowledge base until our agent performs so well. So that's how we are working right now. As far as the signal corpus, we are actively working with them so that we try to reach out to the world as much as possible. So like Mr. and Kudus are actively like working and posting what we have done like on Reddit, on LinkedIn, and so on. And the other team members, we are actively collaborating with them in posting and resharing. So that's a bit of update from my side. But as Yababan was mentioning yesterday, like you are asking some questions in terms of what kind of numbers do you get and like that. So maybe Kudus can continue from that. And also our drivers will add some updates on that also. And thank you. And I'll pass it to Kudus.
Okay, let me share my screen. Let me give you a brief overview of what we have achieved so far and continue on detail about the Signal Corps and the engagements we're getting. Last night, we shipped and completed the full interim submission. All of the required files have been submitted, and our agent have been running on a shared server. The agent is live and accessible to all the team members, and the context manager also implements the 3-layer context architecture. The schema metadata, institutional knowledge, and the corrections memory are all loaded at the session start before the agent answers the first questions. And also we have some module consolidation issue. The IO join key resolver and the driver schema introspection integrated into a single unified module. And a self-correction bug also have been fixed by Joseph. It has been identified and fixed. The iterative self-correction now is running clearly, and each pass carries correction log from previous runs. And me and Mistra have been posting on Reddit and Twitter. And for Johannes' question, I would also like to add using multiple accounts is helpful in Reddit, since the community moderators remove the posts and framing your questions to find some help us in getting some engagements. And our action items due to Saturday and what we are working on as the drivers, Joseph and Betel, have been reviewing agent for evaluation harness and finding ways to submit to data DAV benchmark, and also continuous enhancement of the core agent logic.
And Malcolm also is updating the joint key glossary and refining the knowledge base and the context layers. And me and Mistra will keep the momentum on posting. Okay, let me pass it into our part for the Signal Corps, our engagement. We got almost 2,600 views on all of our media, on Reddit, on Twitter, and we published 13 posts and 3 articles, and we got 8 external replies. For example, our engagement on X, we posted some questions, and one of a practitioner asked us the multi-database approach or multi-database approach stands out, and that's precisely where most analytics solutions fail, and the medium enterprises often struggle with data scattered across systems, and how we are managing that in real-time consistency. And we replied by saying the smart query planner, understanding relationship across heterogeneous databases, dynamic schema awareness plus metadata synchronization, built-in self-correction loops to avoid bad joins or stale assumptions helps. And this helped the team. It was the first external validation that the problem we were solving in real time, and it changed how we frame questions. And another questions that were raised in X is multi-database joins with mismatched schemas is exactly where things get messy. And people were curious how we were handling schema normalization or just keeping the native types or DB and letting the agent figure it out. We replied with keeping native types per database, putting resolution logic in layer 2, a joint key glossary mapping, how the same entity appears differently across systems. Integer in Postgres, for example, in Postgres, they might be saved in integer, and they might be saved in string format in MongoDB. And before any cross database joins, schema normalization upfront felt too brittle, and this helped us unlock some insight into the architecture. The architecture was not locked when this reply arrived, and the decision was open, and our reply became a key decision when we discussed it in our with our team in the mob sessions. And we got another Reddit post. Almost people engaged with it, almost 1,300 views. We asked curiously if anyone has tackled multi-database schema loading strategies and loaded a full schema upfront or retrieved on demand per sub-query. And we got 4 replies from 4 different users, and they have helped us. For example, as you can see, a sufficient might user said lazy loading per sub-query for schema upfront creates massive context plot, and table names only first fetch column and details for tables. And the other users also gave us their insights. For example, as you can see, the foreign skill user said schema as a database via DecDB, a semantic search via MCP as a cloud skill only activates when invoked and saves significant context space. We posted this as we were stuck on this question on day 3. It flagged as a critical and blocking architecture finalization. We did not have the answer at the time. And this changed for independent practitioners since they said almost the same things. The lazy loading plus on-demand expansion is now confirmed. And the table names first expand to full columns only for tables selected after first pass query plan. And this have unblocked the token optimization. Okay, and another question we asked is how we distinguished a data quality failure and a domain knowledge gap in our setup. This line is a blurry null constraint violations that could be a data quality issue, or it could mean that the agent is querying the wrong table just because it does not know which one is authoritative. And one user replied how we were handling the semantic layers. We replied with we are not using traditional semantic layers and no DBT metrics. Instead, we built on institutional knowledge layer, 3 structure markdown documents injected directly into the agent's context, and the domain term definitions, average rating, means of star columns, and also the dataset overviews, and no embedding, no vector search, or every document must pass on injection test. I'm running out of time, so I will try to skim through the rest. Okay, and the other posts we made, we're still waiting for replies, as we discovered that some enterprise data sets that don't have dedicated columns for structured data, and it's embedded inside description fields, location data, category information, and we're still monitoring for replies. We've been getting views, but some are not getting replies, but we will update it when we find some replies. And some Medium articles we posted, me and Mr. is the joint key problem, why the same customer is different in every database. And we shared this with the team to get some insights and for them to solve if there is key issues. As you can see, there is 3 posts we published, and how it helped them briefly. For example, the joint key resolver post. This helps them by writing it forced precise articulation of the joint key problems that feed directly into how Steve and Malcolm structured the knowledge base, the exact scenario integer. For example, like I said previously, the integer and the string formats saved in different database formats. And these are the 3 of our posts, and this is it. And let me pass it into the drivers beta.
Okay, I will be presenting about the progress in where we are now. So at first we tested the book review data set. So most of the tests were passing. So we shifted to the Yelp data set. Right now we only tested 2, and this slide was made yesterday. So but today the 2 queries was the 2 queries has passed. So and our evaluation harness is fully operational, which is we are no longer guessing where the agent is improving. We are now have score logs per query traceability and the enable command, and our knowledge base injection tests are also passing, and the which takes out that the architecture layer, the domain layer, and the correction layer are all structured and well enough to be injected, which we also did that, and the structure readiness is also almost completed. The toolbox, the database, and the sandbox are now live and working. So what we are left is each of us taking a dataset and trying query and improving our knowledge base. Thank you.
Okay. We are over time for your team, so thank you, Kudus and Beta. So, is there any question from the team or Team Palm?
I'll ask. So, on the evaluations that you have run, I think I've seen you have run 2 patients or 2 queries. If you can show us the slide again, please. Kudus, are you able to share slide?
I'm trying to share it right now. Okay.
Okay, so it says that you did 2 queries and 1 pass, 2 attempted. So does it mean for the first query, did you run the 50 trials and out of those trials, you got 50 of them correct, or can you explain what it means by 1 pass?
Okay. Yesterday we were trying the 2 queries. So the first query successfully got the ground truth within 10 trials, but the second didn't. So in the morning we were also trying it. Now the 2 queries match the ground truth, and it's only show 50% because it was made yesterday. Sorry for that. And
it's
like 10 trials.
So you did 10 trials, and out of those, how many passed?
I don't give you a question.
So you tested one of the query 10 times, right?
Yes.
And out of those 10 trials, it passed for the 5 of them. Is that what it's saying here? Or I think it's showing you tried 2 different queries and you tried each of them for 10 times.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, so out of those 10 times, how many times did you get correct?
So for the first query, at first the answer was wrong. It's like almost 0. All the trials were wrong. So then we passed it again, and then all the 10 trials passed.
So 10 trials, 1 query passed. And for the second query, it's the same thing?
Yes.
So we have 54 queries remaining. So let's say 52.
No, we only tried 2.
So there's 52 remaining.
Yes, we have 50 queries, 54 queries. Yes, 52 are remaining, and we will be trying.
Okay. Right. Thank you, Wetal. And oops.
Okay, so next we have Team Blue. Team Blue, you can speak next.
Okay, thank you. Am I audible? Let me share my screen. Oh, okay, I am Amir from Team Blue. So overall, what we are doing is we're building a production-grade natural language analytics agent to pass this search 8% frontier baseline. So schema hints, knowledge, domain knowledge, and live.
Amir, I'm sorry to stop you, but can you put it in slideshow? Slides, can you put it in slideshow full screen? It's a bit.
I don't know in this thing how I can
slideshow. Yeah, slideshow on the top. There is file, edit, view, insert.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we have a team of 5. I'm Amir Ahmeddin. I was working as a driver. Nabiyu Ababa and Solomon, they work as our intelligence officer. Abdullah Miftah and Efrata working as signal corps. Okay, so as I said, our mission is building a production-grade natural language data analytics agent. So that is will be evaluated on DAV, and it's going to beat the 38% frontier baseline by context engineering without fine-tuning any models. So what we have is generally we have 54 queries, 12 data sets, 9 domains, and 4 different databases. So the results we got until now is 57.1, which is our peak. But here what we were using was the direct Gemini CLI. So we were using the Gemini API key and the Gemini CLI through the Gemini CLI. But after communicating with our instructor, we were told to use the operator one. So using the operator, what we get is this 14% across and book review data sets. You will see the details later. So overall, our architecture looks like this. So the natural language query is asked. Then we will have these 3-layer contexts. So the first one is the schema and the metadata, the domain knowledge, and the collection log. So after it passes these context layers, we'll have our query logic. After querying the question and get answer, we verify the answer and response it. So when we see our score regression, as I said, first, without using any tool calls and no traction, we get 0%. Then by adding some hints, we get to 28.6 with a better hint. We reach 57.7. This is all with the Gemini API and the Gemini CLI. But with a router, what we get is we tested is only Yelp dataset. We get 28.6. But after some improvement, we did on the hints and our knowledge bases, we get 40% with the both. Yes.
Like your slide is probably, if anyone sees it, they will never hire you. Because you have to know. It's like this is so badly done in the AI era. It's like over, maybe it's like the incompatibility between the tool you are using to present, which is LibreOffice, and then where you generated. But something just you have to know when something like this expected, you have seen it, you should have exported into PDF at least, and then does that, because this just shows that however whatever result you're gonna do, people will just start taking with a grain of salt, right? Like really does the person know what they're doing?
Yes.
And so just making sure that these things are as essential as the content you are presenting as well. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, sorry for this kind of presentation. Like, I don't know, our team was somehow busy and we can't manage to distinguish. It was
go on. I just want to make sure that it is communicated.
Okay.
We can't
Thank
tolerate
you
today, right? Yeah.
Okay. So, next I will show you some failures we got and what we learned from those failures. So we were testing the Yelp dataset, and from the first question of the query, what is asking is that it's asking the average rating of a business in Indianapolis. That's like we have in Yelp dataset we have two types of databases: the MongoDB and the DuckDB. So the agent wasn't like knowing the data types it is using. So the problem is like it's getting failed because the agent using the MongoDB database business. But to get the review, we have to see the DuckDB review table. Because of this, it wasn't getting the actual result. So what we do is we got to our knowledge base and fixed this thing by saying that DuckDB review table is authoritative for pre-review data in our Yelp correction file, and the agent actually starts getting the correct answer. So the same thing was happening here in the query 1, 2, and 4. This is the error was generally the join normalization problem. So we fixed that and started working. Okay, so what is our general plans for the next days? So as I said, we start working on two data, the data sets, the Yelp and the book review. We'll continue doing on the other data sets today and create hint files for each of these new data sets. Then tomorrow we'll run all the 12 datasets agent and collect results while fixing remaining Yelp failures on each of those. And finally, on Saturday, what we do is we run the remaining 5 trials on all the 54 queries in the format results and send our PR. We also post the benchmark results on X and link our PR. So what is our honest gap and assessment? So what we learned, what we know is like we got this 57.1% on Yelp data set with a direct Gemini CLI code. The KB is fully built, tested, and wired to our agent. While using the operator, what we get is 14% across the two databases, data sets, still beating this 38 baseline. We almost used all the 4 databases, like the MongoDB, the DB from the Yelp dataset, and Postgres and SQLite from the book review datasets. So what we do want to know, we don't know yet is like for all the 12 datasets, we don't know our benchmark and we don't know our score. So we're trying to achieve that one. And whether the KB, we injected it, but we didn't test it. It's enough the knowledge base injections. Yes. Okay. Yes. So trends we are tracking is the context engineering over fine-tuning, the MCP adoption for tool use and database access, the benchmark transparency failure analysis, often in small trust and isolated wins. How our design reflects those trends. So we have 3-layer knowledge base architecture. So, and we also have the MCP toolbox integration. So this actually puts on the upper standards. So our ambition is beating this 38% baseline for all the 12 data sets. And the challenge we're facing is this proxy abstraction challenge with this operator. What we achieved until now is this 40% across the 2 databases and the full wired. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Amir. Is there anything your team like to add from other members? Maybe.
I think Nabiyu is there. If Nabiyu is there, Ruth is also there. If they cannot, yeah, they cannot.
Also, just to add, like Abdullah Hamid mentioned, the number one from the data bench repo is, I think, that 54% now. So your ambition should be greater for this. So the bar is higher now. So accordingly. So if there's anything to add, is there any question from the team?
Yes, I have one question. So I think I found it hard to understand like, how the change from using Gemini CLI to Open Browser affected the result of your agent. So basically, Open Router also provides the same model. Gemini CLI, I don't know which model you used on Gemini CLI, but that same model should be available through Open Router. Maybe the difference would be on the system front. So Gemini CLI would have, even I don't understand like how the agent. So you are building an agent, and an agent would then require for a model to be used, and things that model should be used through an API. So maybe first you can tell us how you used Gemini CLI, how it was configured to be used with your agent.
Okay, so we actually used Gemini 3.1 Pro Preview on both, like on the Gemini API key as well as through operator as well. But like when we were using the direct Gemini API key, we got 57%, and while using the operator through operator, we got 40%. So I don't actually know the yes.
So it's not Gemini CLI. It's you used a key from Gemini.
Yes.
To your agent. So it's not Gemini CLI.
Yeah.
So you have an agent, and your agent basically used a key which you got from Gemini.
Yes.
Okay. And when you changed that key to be from the open router, from the open router, it affected your results.
Exactly.
And it's used the same model on those.
Yes.
But sure, because I think they both provide the same model. It shouldn't be the model shouldn't be different. The performance of the model shouldn't be different, but I'm not sure. And your harness, it was exactly the same, nothing changed.
No, the operator is even better. Like the harness we do for the operator is better than the Gemini ones.
But the result is not better.
The reverse.
So I'm not sure. I mean, I would rule out the model thing because
but like what I understood is like in the DAB, I think there is some direct Gemini CLI called, so that helps us maybe rather than passing through the open route and again calling it the Gemini one.
Wait, so are you saying you used the agents, the mock agent that's available on the DAB repository?
Yes, first, yes, it was like that. We got 57 by that method.
Okay, and then you changed that with
our custom agent.
Okay, so it's different. And you're comparing two different agents, right? Because the first one it already exists on the DAB repository. It's a mock agent.
Yes.
And your custom agent, and you tried it with open router, and it's different. The result is different because the harness is different as well.
Yes.
So I think you should focus on the harness because the model it's definitely the same. It doesn't change between using it through open router or directly by Gemini.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you, Amir and Abdullah. So
maybe I just want to mention one thing also. So maybe you Balaina and Hiot, so their team think the slide say it was very good. I like the animation. Maybe you can tell us what tool you used, and it could also help Amir's team. So if either maybe you or Hiot, you have share.
We have used the Canva.
So I used Canva to create your slides. So Amir, thank you for listening. Such a tool would help.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, boss.
Okay, so next we have the Team DeepSeek. So Team DeepSeek, you can continue with your presentation. Anyone from Team DeepSeek?
Yes, I'm sharing the slide.
Okay.
I think it's visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Zamzam representing Team DeepSeek. So I'm going to present you our work update on the Oracle Forge. So our team is Brikti and Bamlak as drivers, Atnabun and Jonas as iOS, and myself as Signal Corps. So the challenge is data agent bench, which is 54 queries across 4 database types, testing AI agents on real enterprise data. So the best frontier model scores 38%, which is Gemini 3 Pro model. Our thesis from day one is that 38% is not a model capability problem. Rather, it's a context engineering problem. So 85% of failures happen after the agent finds the right table. So the agent fails on what to do after because it doesn't know what the data actually looks like. So a well-engineered knowledge base closes this gap. So that's what we set out to prove. Our architecture addresses all 3 engineering challenges directly. The agent loads 3 context layers before answering any query, which is schema and metadata, domain knowledge, and a correction log of past failures. So this is a direct application of the cloud code 3-layer memory system from the source leak. So agents.md file is our memory MD file. So that's a lightweight index loaded at the session start. Then the React agent plans, executes, observes, diagnoses, and retries. Every cross database join goes through the join key resolver before execution and the result validator after. So if both fail and there is no corrections entry covering the pattern, the agent says it can't answer rather than returning a wrong answer. At the top, we have the evaluation harness. That's every run is scored and logged. So we built this before we optimize the agent because we cannot measure improvement without a baseline. This is our benchmark results. We got 100% pass at 1 across 3 datasets. On the first dataset, which is YEP dataset, we got 7 out of 7. And on the second dataset, which is stock index, we got 3 out of 3. On the book review datasets, we got 3 out of 3. So there's 0 failures against a frontier model seeding of 38%. So to show the KP learning loop is working, our first YEP run before correction were applied scored 48.86%. Then after 5 KB corrections were logged and injected, the same queries scored 100%. So the agent improved not because the model improved, but because what is new improved. So this run 0, this is the run 0 and 1 trial per query. So our final DAP submission requires 5 trials across all 54 queries. So that will be our work for this week. On the knowledge base side, we got 13 out of 13 injection tests passing across all 4 KB directories and 57 out of 57 utility tests passing. So the discipline here is the Karpati method. That is, every document is tested by injecting it into a fresh context and asking a question it should answer. So if it fails the test, it gets revised or removed. So the document that grow without verification becomes noise that would degrade the agent. And the correction log is a self-learning loop. So if the agent fails, driver logs what failed and why, and the correction approach. Then the IO structures it into the KB. Then the agent loads it at the next session start. So the agent doesn't repeat mistakes because the fix live in the context before every query. On the infrastructure side, all of our 4 database types are connected. MongoDB, DuckDB, and SQLite are fully operational with the benchmark evidence. And the other Postgres SQL is configured in tools.yaml file, but it has not been tested end-to-end with a benchmark query. So that's gonna be our priority for this week. The results pipeline is fully operational. On the DAB result JSON file, it has been generated with the correct structure DAB requires for submission. On the signal corpus side, it has been active across 4 platforms since day 1. So 7 external engagements has been made, 2 X-threads, 3 Reddit posts and comments, on LinkedIn group comments, 1 LinkedIn post, and the GitHub repository being watched for all activities. And a piece of community intelligence came back to the team. 1 practitioner from the local Llama community described routing exploration and execution to separate agent steps. So that might validate our architecture decision to separate context loading from execution. And the Karpatis post validates our iOS minimal precise KB design, specifically that we don't need RAG at small scale if the index is well maintained. So we're gonna go deep dive on that information. On week 9, so on the signal corpus side, this week's plan is the 600-word articles, benchmark submission on X, and returning to the Reddit thread with our final score. For week 9, for this week, we have this plan. It will be 3 rows and 3 tracks. So on the first track, there is drivers. They are running the full 54 query benchmark, 5 trials each, fixing output formatting precision on untested datasets, and submitting the GitHub PR. So we are currently at 13 out of 54 queries covered. On the second track, we have the intelligence officers. So they are building the adversarial probe library, which is 5 probes minimum across 3 failure categories, and extending domain KB documents for the remaining datasets. On the last track, we will have the signal corpus, which is focusing on publishing the 600-word technical articles and posting the benchmark submission and compiling the final engagement portfolio. So since the submission is on Saturday, our architecture is complete and the remaining work is hardening for evaluation and submission. So that's our progress for the last week. If you have any question, our team and I are ready to accept it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zamzam. And Yosef, is that a question or are you in the same team?
Yeah, I have a question for Zamzam, also for other teams. Yeah, like you say, you have got I think you say 100% pass for the Yelp dataset. That mean you answered correctly all the questions?
Yes. On the Yelp dataset, not only on the Yelp dataset, on this we experimented on 6 datasets. So on Yelp dataset, it was 7 out of 7. On the stock index, it was 3 out of 3. So on the other dataset, it was also 3 out of 3. So it was the first run. So on that run, I got 100 plus.
And also, we didn't get that result on first or second try. When we ran it at first, only 2 passed, and then when we add the correction log and also the domain for the three data sets, like the schemas and resolution and things like that. When we focus more on the KB, it started passing 5 and then we got 7. So basically we were learning from the failures and adding it to the KB.
Okay, yeah, the question was is like we also was referring, and now in the leaderboard is for the Yelp data set is I think 86 score. So I was wondering if you beat the bench the leaderboard the first on the Yelp data set, and how what model also do you use? In the leaderboard, it's the highest score. It's the model is Gemini 3.1 Pro, and it scored 86.6 on Yelp dataset. So, how many times do you run it each query, and also which model did you use to beat the best one on the benchmark?
So the model we used, I think I was first using I think Cloud Honeycomb or something, and it was very expensive. So I actually asked some people on the Slack, and they were using a GBC Mini, and we were 2 driver tested it, and I got 5, and then because I ran out of token, my co-driver tested it. And what was the other question? Like, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, how many runs did you try it, and which model do you use?
Okay, how many runs? I would say, I think we ran multiple times, like I would say more than 7, more than 7 or 8. I should have that number, but we ran multiple times.
Maybe to delve down on the question, on the Yelp, it said 7 out of 7 pass. So is it 7 times score 100% out of 7 trials, or is
No,
it
the 7 queries passed. That's what it is.
from 7 queries, but one time run?
It's not one time run.
Like I think the run also matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it was not the first try. We got 2 out of 7 first, and then we got as we add on the KB, it increased to 5, and then we passed the 7 out of 7.
Just a bit of correction. Just 7 out of 7 means 7 queries. Run 7 times. So, but in your case, you just run 7 queries. The 7 queries pass. So maybe kind of
yeah, but it is pass at 1, right? So what is the definition of pass at 1? It's isn't it just the one time, and then
yeah, I was also checking it, and that was a mistake. I think we correct that one. We check our run logs and fix it because it was not the first run.
Okay, so does it mean, I think this is where, does it mean that if you run on one query, let's just look at one query,
yeah,
and if you run in that query, you might get failure, but at some point at K, you get result, a pass.
Yes.
Does that mean that one? Is this 7 out of 7 means that one? So you might have failures. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 out of 7 means out of 7 queries, we got 7 pass. It might
That's
not
great.
be on the first run.
Okay, great.
But
So
at the end,
that's
we
basically.
got
But do you
7
have
pass.
an idea? Do you have an idea how many you tried in one? Let's say take one query before you get a pass. How many you tried?
we didn't check how many run we made, but we just
So the
reported the results that we got at the end.
Yeah. So the statement is that if you try insufficient enough for one query, you will get a pass. You'll get the correct result with your current model. Okay. And is it checking the results? Or another issue is that how does it always compare, and do you propagate the error like back to the via your logs and stuff to the agent? And that means are you letting it know what actually the error is? Is that a training phase? So if it's not clear, like my question, you can ask me to explain it further, but I just want to understand. So does it know what actually how far it is from the true result?
Yes. I mean, we implemented on the KB, we implemented the correction, log what the error it got, and also the resolution, and also it checks the domain. So there's when the agent run again, it also self-corrects.
Yeah. And I just want to check, I mean, if in real world, if this agent goes, then the only way, that's fine for training your knowledge base and getting validating, so that's called a training phase, right? But when you are actually evaluating, so I'm not sure what the DAB is actually measuring, but are they allowing that you are actually propagating your errors back, or do they want your agent to get a goal and try to achieve, and then at some point it has to say, okay, I am done, here is my result? What do you know how it's evaluating, how the actual evaluation happens? This is maybe for everyone, so maybe just I want to hear before celebrating 100%, are people also doing the same thing and still not achieving such a high number? So maybe just in comparison, can we hear from another team, are they doing something similar, and therefore this is actually good, they have done they have created something very precise? So what do other teams think?
So we run every query through the agent. So we can trace the tool call in the intermediate result. So we validate the answer using the parameter we take for that. So all the RAM logs are traceable by the running ID. So we use that the Sentinel interpreter to harness that. I think maybe that's our latest result we achieved for that.
But are you doing something similar, or just to the summary of that? Are you also propagating back when you have, once the agent runs and then it doesn't pass or it doesn't get the correct one, then you give it correction and it tries again until it passes? Was that also how you were doing? Okay. Maybe Amir? Yeah, go on.
Okay, so what we're doing is for each query we have iterations, right? So it queries it iteratively. If it is 5, 10, 15, so it queries it. If it got the response, it will validate it with the ground truth and it says pass or fail. So that is how
do you propagate? But if it fails, you just register as fail and then you continue, or?
Yeah. No, if it fails, it fails. And we do it in our correction log, and so write it there, and we test it again. It's not the same flow. If it finishes the iteration, it is done. Like either it passes or fails. It is done.
So then that means you're doing it at pass at 1?
Yes.
Okay. And this one seems to be pass at K, right? Zamzam or Bricty.
Yeah.
Okay. And do people have pass at K? So I think that the point is that, like, I think this is good. But the only thing that I want to understand is that what is that 38% you are mentioning, or the 54 now that Abdul is saying? How do they do it? Like, are they doing what is allowed? Because I think you might be really into something, or you might just be doing that's trivial. The difference between them is knowing how that 38% has been achieved. So I think there is a lot of two things that are great. Your agent, in any way, once it knows a destination, like, then it will be able to get there via correction. So your all other harnesses in the way that you are doing some kind of gradient descent is good. So that means you are training. So I think there's even nothing, there is something good about it. But you have to know and you have to understand what actually that 38%. Whenever you compare with something, you have to compare apple with apple, right? So you don't want to sound like, not knowing, like, so you have to know exactly what that 38%. Whenever you compare something, just really compare, and maybe just compare that, anyone in the team as well, plus also you. Please just update us in Slack as well, or now, maybe before the end, if that 38% is a good comparison, or that 38% is.
I don't think we are comparing our result with like 38%. That is like the Gemini. I think we're saying that for the only 3 data sets
I understand.
that we tested. Okay.
But I mean, it seems to me like you have 3 data sets passing all. It is reasonable to expect for others you might get more. Like, I think, and that's less of a problem, but more of a resource issue now. And but even at this rate, it seems to me better result, right? And so you have to know what are you doing different to achieve such one. Is it, so it's a bit, sometimes it's suspicious you're getting really 100%. So there might be data leakage that it says you're actually passing in your log, you're actually passing the result somehow. And just the LLM is clever enough to discover that. So it should not be that one, right?
Yeah, we will check that. And
yeah, because anything that's called extraordinary result requires extraordinary effort and validation. So this type of claims needs to be, you have to rule out at least the very, the trivial ones, which is like, yeah, there's data leakage. That means you are, via your log, your correction, you're actually letting the LLM know what the result is. And in that case, in the second run, it actually more or less has the information. And that should not be the case. That it actually follows exactly what it's supposed to be following. That means it only just updates something, either it's prompts or it's data query optimization, or somewhere it optimizes and then achieves that, and then that optimization remains, so that in the validation step, which means like when you don't actually have the correction applied, it should basically be able, so with only a vague like, okay, you are wrong, try again. That is in principle what I expect pass at case. So instead of actually learning, so the training step of like an agent should be that, it knows the destination and it optimizes itself, or its queries, its prompts, its things like, it's basically its harness to be able to achieve that optimization. And any training, just like machine learning, it is good if it can generalize, right? Not just, so you're 100% now, at pass 1, it should improve over time because you have optimized it. So yeah, maybe check it and let us know before the end.
Okay.
But like, I have a question. So is there a way how we can balance, like, giving the correction log and also giving it knowledge or knowledge base to the agent, while also not exposing these ground truths.
You have to know. You have to know one thing. In real life, in real world, the agent will not have a correction other than feedback. A person saying no, you're wrong.
Yes.
So they're basically just, as long as you're kind of telling it that way. So as long as like you're kind of expecting a human would just be, or another LLM just who kind of has a better idea, like the teacher, let's call it, just tell it no, you're wrong. That one is not passing any information. It only is telling the agent somewhere you're wrong, right? It can be even more helpful by saying, actually, at this state, because if the agent is showing all its kind of lineage, then it says around here you really got wrong. And so that one is like much more of like, let's say, very direct correction, but still you're not telling it, or you're not kind of passing some kind of diff with what you got and with what is expected. The diff basically is telling it exactly what the result is in some sense. So if you're just pointing only methodological feedback, where potentially the issue is that something is not right, this is much more of tuning. Basically, you're tuning your, like, you can do that via reinforcement learning or many other methods that would then tune your harness. Yeah. But if you just really pass, say like, oh, you're wrong because the result says this and your result is that one, and next time the LLM picks that up, it's very clever, the LLM, right? It's fine, I'm just going to get there. I'm not going to even do the effort. That's really the wrong feedback. That's called what's trivial feedback, of course. Like we know that we are not testing the LLM. We are testing the LLM is good for what it is. It's the harness that is differentiating. And if you really want to understand what you are doing, I think understand it this way. The difference between a student now who just got in and then they just logged into LangChain and created just one agent and then tested it on this, using a model Gemini 3.1 Pro or Cloud as 4.6. So that person has no idea and just created some test thing, but using the LLM and wrote the same query that you are writing. That person and you, or the best team in the world, are doing the same. They're using the same model, and the difference becomes the harness. And why Cloud Code is $1 billion or multi-billion dollar versus your agent is not yet a multi-billion dollar is the difference is in the harness, right? Because you both can use Cloud at 4.6, and it's not that one that's making the difference. So whenever you want to understand what a harness is, think of agent is equal to model plus a harness, and a harness includes everything. And now we're not testing the model, because the model everybody can use. When they build an agent, they all use the same. Anyone, as I said, any person, any taste, any toy model will use the same model. It's fine. The model is democratized. And the difference in the money between the students basically no solution versus Cloud Code's multi-billion dollar, the difference is in the harness. Yeah, it's just.
Okay, thank you, Yabawal and Amir. So I think we finished with DeepSeek. If there's no question you want to ask, so we're gonna go back to Team Gemini. Team Gemini, if you're ready, we can go on with you. Team Gemini, are you prepared?
Just let me share my screen. Am I audible? Okay, thank you. So sorry for the delay. Okay, so I'm going to present our progress report. So I'm going to start by introducing our team members. So on the driver part, me, myself, Joel, and Darajit are on the driver role, and in the intelligence officer, there is Charlie Bijaran and Lul Tashuma, and on the corpus signal, there is Nohamin Alamayo and Rafia Kadal. And so I'm going to tell you about the problem and our goals. So every enterprise data is fragmented, and in the modern days, data is the key to everything. Like it's the new oil, and we need to manage the data, and also it will be a good opportunity for the decision makers to know about their data sets well. So the modern workloads also span along with our modern workloads span multiple systems like the PostgreSQL, SQLite, MongoDB, and the DuckDB. So what the problem is the wrong database to selection. Like if there is multiple data sets and to make a query and to get a proper response, it is hard for the agents alone. So we need to have the tool and also an architecture to harness the data well. So these are the problems that we listed here. So what our goal is to build an AI agent that seamlessly query across alone all databases and detects and corrects its own failure and produce a verifiable and traceable, reproducible outputs. So this is our goal. And here is our end-to-end system architecture. We have the natural language question input as an input, and we have 3 context layers. The first layer about the schema, the tables, and the columns. It will have all information about the schema and other details. And we have also the domain knowledge. And in the third layer, we have the correction memory. All the errors are going to store in this layer, and it's going to feed back to the agent. So this is our agent core. We have one agent conductor, and we have multiple sub-agents to handle each specific databases. So the Postgres, the MongoDB, we have 4 sub-agents. And it's overall, it looks like this. So we have the validator. It can check across the ground truths. After it executes, it will check about, and it will tell us whether it fails or it passed the query. So here are the key design decisions we make as shown on the architecture. So we have 3-layer knowledge base. I've already mentioned it, the architecture, the dataset domain, and the correction log. And we have also an MCP layer too, which have all the tools for the agents to work and do their job, like querying, joining, and also other tools. We have all the tools, around 29 tools for the 4 databases. And we have also a typed failure classes, like if it failed, it will classify the failures across, it is join key mismatch, or it is no data is available or something. It will classify, it will make the agent better. So we also have the evaluation harness against the DAB data set. And here is we have 4 databases. I've already mentioned it, and we have fully loaded, and they are accessible. We have also built the MCP server, which have 29 tools, and it will work across all the databases. It will also check the logs and also validate against our ground truths. So we have this is our execution plan. It will plan first, and it will execute. It will validate and synthesize. So we have finished the construction phase of the project. We have built end-to-end using our architecture. We have built all end-to-end. So I'm going to pass on to Charlie. So we're going to continue to present about the knowledge base.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Charlie from intelligence team. So about our knowledge based. So the first layer is architecture knowledge. So it is just fully completed and stable. So it correctly maps all 29 DB tools across our infrastructure. And when it comes to layer 2 domain knowledge, so this is our primary focus right now. So we are actively performing domain modifications on the domain files for each data set. So directly based on the failure logs. So because the evaluation harness keeps catching some semantic traps like missing trim functions or dirty hashtag string prefixes. So we are taking those logged failures and manually injecting explicit rules back into the domain layer. And the last one is layer 3, so which is correction log. So this is just actively running in the background. So every time we run the tests on the evaluation harness, so the correction log is automatically recording exactly why the agent failed. So next page. So this is just 18.5% is just baseline pass rate before fixing any errors or any domain modifications. So, but after some domain modifications, just for specifically for the data set, we got around 66.7%, but still we are updating the domains to get a better accuracy, and around 29 MCP tool is built for database systems. So next. Next page. So what the challenges currently we are facing is just most of the failures are just system level infrastructure issue, just not a fundamental model limitations, just like domain knowledge gaps and some deployment instability. So those all issues are just a solvable problem. So we will fix those issues, and we will perform a better accuracy soon. So next issue. So this is already presented by EU. So let me invite my corpus team, Noami.
I think Noami is next.
I think Noami, you can continue.
Okay, give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Is it working?
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay. So again, we apologize for the inconvenience we created. I am part of the Signal Corp team, and we have been managing around 4 social medias. Me mainly, I managed Twitter and Reddit, and Rafia was working on the Medium, and she was also preparing our LinkedIn posts. And what we observed were after our daily mob session, we wrote our X-thread, our progress, and our failures, but we were holding back before posting on Reddit because we didn't want to make a generic post. But our post on Reddit is up. We're getting good engagements, but our engagements are only likes and shares. We are yet to get any comments from the community. And next, for our next step from the corpus team will be more focusing on more Reddit posts, because now we're working on we have logging information now. So we'll be sharing our failures and our updates on Reddit as well now. And I'm not sure if our teams have communicated this earlier, but now we all the 6 of us will also be working on the domain knowledge, because our drivers and intelligence officers have divided the tasks, the data sets among the 6 of us. So the corpus team will also handle 4 data sets now, in addition to our other responsibilities. And we'll finish by writing a longer, more detailed post on LinkedIn and Medium for our final presentation. That's it from my end.
Okay, thank you. Team Gemini. So any question from the team?
Okay, maybe just one question on the runs. It showed us 18% and then 66%.
Come again, please, Abdi.
Yeah, on the runs, on the evaluation runs you did, the baseline was 18%, and then it increased to 66% for the yellow dataset. If you can show us on the slide.
I think you will share the slide again.
On the evaluation run. So here, how many tiles is this at?
So this is the first trial results. We have just used only one time, check the performance, only the first trial.
So okay, for the 66% as well.
Yeah, for the Elf data set as well, we have only used one, the Passat one.
Passat one for how many?
So that means, so what we are doing for this percentages, just when we try to run one query at a time, and we just see if that query is fail or pass. If it's fail, we just check the logs, and based on the logs, we just update our domain, and we just run it again with the updated domain, and this 66.7% means after updating some domain rule changes. But still, it is on progress, so we will improve our domain knowledge to get a better result.
Yes, but I wanted to know like how you calculated the 66%. So there are 54 queries in total, and on the yellow dataset, I think there is 7 questions. So for those 7, yes, for those 7 questions, how many times did you run your agent on those 7 questions? For example, for the first question, for the one query, how many times did you run the agent?
We have run the agent only one time. So for every query, it will run. Okay.
Let me help you. It's a nice question. Basically, this 66.7% is an early validation test. So as you said, the Yelp dataset has 7 queries. So we got 4 passes out of 7. So that's why the exact score for the Yelp dataset is 50. Test. So basically, we can say it 57%, 4 out of 7.
So Raja, I think we lost you at the end. Can you come again?
Am I audible? Sorry.
Yes, you are audible.
This 66.7% is an early validation test. Basically, the score we have currently for the Yelp dataset is 57%, which is 4 out of 7. So out of 7 queries of the Yelp dataset, we got 4 passes. That's why. So the exact score for this test is 57%.
Okay, but how many times did you run each query?
Within a single run. Single run. Each single run.
So the leaderboard requires you to run either 5 or 50 trials. So for each query, you should be running your agent against it. So you can start with 5 trials. So each query you try it with 5 trials, and out of those 5 trials, which you check how many times it got it right, and then you calculate the percentage for that specific query. For example, if you run it 5 times and it got it, let's say 4 times, each for the first run, it got it 4 times, so it will be 4/5, right? So out of 5 runs, you got four trials correct. So for the first query, it will be you got 4 out of 5 correct. So I wanted to know like how many times you run each query, so that you can calculate the percentage from it.
It's just basically we run a single query one time, and then if we get a pass, so totally there is 7 queries, and 4 out of 7 is around 57%. That's it. But we are told to run a single query 5 times. But for the sake of API keys, we're just running. We're progressing. That's why. So we're trying to get if we get a good answer or not. So we're not running the full bench kind of thing.
Yes, I understand. But one times is very, very difficult to get meaningful data out of it, because LLMs are not deterministic. So it may give you a correct answer, it may not give you a correct answer. So that's the reason the number of trials we want to run is between 5 and 50.
Okay, good point. Okay, we will take it at the second.
Thank you, Rajay. Thank you, Week8.
Okay, thank you, Team Gemini and Abdulhamid. So that's it from all the teams. If there is no announcement from the team, I think this is it for today's presentation startup. So yeah.
So I think I just want to maybe like a summary. So I mean, you all understand now the value of what you're doing, right? So and it's really good, and I think I don't have doubts that you are all working hard to achieve it. But at the same time, you also know that you have to be critical. Being a team allows you to really, like, it is an ownership thing. Just a few people can make it incredibly powerful, the team, but at the same time, also a few people not doing what they're supposed to do or not really taking it serious can just make the team basically nothing. That's why, like in any hiring, people are so careful if they know that they don't accept team members that doesn't show, a certain trait. So in that sense, I think this is very important. Who makes the team at the end just successful might be a few people, but really everybody has to be helpful and cooperating and knowing that how hard it is. And it should be almost always, if I don't do it, who should do it, right? If I don't strive, who's going to be doing? So it's like doing your task is a bare minimum. Nobody is going to really, that's the bare minimum. It's what you are getting paid for in any team. Where people like you is when you do what you are not supposed to do. When you see a challenge and then identify that challenge and make sure really that is the case. Because ultimately at this point, you have spent sufficient energy and sufficient time, and there is really just it's a very silly if you don't now from here to become the best you can be, right? You have surprised yourself, you have seen the things, but complacency is going to be your enemy. You will become the enemy as people grow in their kind of like technical ability and opportunity. The real enemy is not going to be another person. The real enemy is you, your complacency, and your all just once in a while habit that just destroys it, right? So I noticed that you're all capable and amazing and there's different potentials, but I also notice just with these presentations that there are complacencies, that the full ability of a team is not being leveraged at the moment. So in some teams, the chemistry is working much better than other teams, but it's not about the result only. It's about really understanding the depth. Somebody has to, if you notice that the team is kind of really doing a lot of engineering, but you need to also read so you can think even deeper and beyond. Take that responsibility and do it. Make sure that the team. So it's kind of almost demonstrate value there in the team and make sure your team, you have your love for your team is more just to say like, if I am involved in something, it's going to be the best. have that principle for yourself, because you're not just ordinary 53 people. If that was the case, I'm fine. I would not say this. But this is the cream, the special, really, use that in Ethiopia, like, the number of people who are like you are small. And what are those people can do? You have seen what other countries can do, but what are the Ethiopian-based people can do? So in some sense, it's really against that as well. For me, why I'm hard sometimes, why I was so disappointed yesterday as well, isn't just that you didn't do well and not, I understand also you were, probably not sleeping, but it's really because I want to see what is the best Ethiopian team can do. And is that what they can do? As I said, results comes and go. Like it's really, it's not, you can't bet on results, but you can bet on process. You can bet on understanding, on posture, and on complete, on kind of becoming active. So if people cannot show that, and if they just even get result, I think that's Pluto or Aristotle that says, if instead of getting something right with the wrong method, it is better, he said, that it's better to get it wrong with the right method. And he knew exactly what he was saying. He was referring about statistics, because if you have a wrong method and you were lucky once, and 100 things you have to try now, you will get it wrong many times. So in the 100 times, the method basically becomes more important, and therefore the result becomes less. So, in your lifetime, to live long is probably a one-time thing. But to do what you're doing now, like, crafting an agent, achieving something, you're going to do it 100 times. So when you do it the wrong way, you're going to get lots of times wrong. And therefore that's really not going to happen. That's just basically nobody, you will be visible. So that's why this is really important. It's about the process. It's about your actual, contribution to the team and your principle to yourself. Like, if you are in a team, would you allow a team, to go down? How much you can do. Of course, at some point, if other people are not cooperating, you probably can't do yourself, right? But how much can you just strive to make sure that, to become a leader and to make the team, progress well? So I think I just want to observe, overall, it's great, but I don't believe only that this is this is the only thing, this is the last thing that the best Ethiopian teams can do. And you are the best Ethiopian team, in my opinion. At least, you probably can really say, is there really right now who's doing agents at this level in Ethiopia, like who has the opportunity as well as the leverage to be able to produce something, the next whatever is going to be agentic that's coming out from Ethiopia. And in my understanding is that there might be some, but you're going to be probably the most concentrated right now in all Ethiopia, right? So what can you do is also a question of what as a country can we do. So, take it more like, just give it your best. And there are things, of course, you cannot do, you don't have enough sufficient resource, all of that, but within your capabilities, make sure you're not just another person, who's just learning something. If you are thinking that, really throw that. You are the best. You have the opportunity, you are the most dense, actively, walking with the world, just shoulder to shoulder. You're solving things that the world is interested. You have proved that yourself. So I really want to say, take the best, just from here to the last ones, just put that effort and do the best you can. And then cheers, then just rest. And then next time when you come, all this knowledge will become really sufficient, right? So, but from here on, the mindset should be, this is the hope. In some sense, if we're going to contribute something, most likely it comes out from this team, most likely. So, and you're not just an ordinary AI engineer. That's why I think in the advertisement, if you're not, we say it, the 1%. And it wasn't just more to say like, you are elite, but we really knew there would not be any other person for the next 3 months who's going to be breathing and living and kind of sleeping with AI agents, memories, and whatever is out there for the 3 months intensively like this. So that's what would make you the 1%. So I just want to really share that so that you don't take it lightly. Okay, and with that, good luck.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So this concludes our stand-up and the presentation. So have a good day and have a productive day. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.